we are good to go. Hey, there's the chat. All right, cool.
Not the two like 1 minute videos.
I know. Dude, we're
There
out
we
of
go.
coffee in the house, and it makes me insanely sad.
Wait, what'd you say?
We're out of coffee in the house, and it's making me insanely sad.
That's brutal. That's brutal.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I'm ready when you are, I believe.
I mean, I am good to go. First, do we want to talk a little bit about last week? How last week went with sports or with the
Okay.
NFL?
So, I mean, NFL trade deadline was this week. We had the Jets send over Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams. So Sauce is with the Colts now.
And who went over? Who went over to the Jets? What was his name?
Sauce Gardner. He's one of the better corners in the league.
No, Sauce went from the Jets to the Colts. Who went from the Colts to the Jets? Was it just picks?
Oh yeah, they sent 2 first-round picks, which is a really hefty price.
Yeah.
And also a receiver, Adonai Mitchell.
Yeah, and didn't he get a touchdown like the game before he was traded over?
Well, he's the guy that had the botched, like he had the really big touchdown.
Yeah,
catch,
and then threw it at the ball
across the goal line. So the Colts wanted nothing to do with him. But here's the thing, like,
Fair.
if he doesn't make that mistake, he's still like playing for the Colts. Like the Colts essentially benched him for that, which is understandable. But like, I would only bench someone for 1 game for that. Like I wouldn't like he was eternally stuck on the bench after that game, and I just think like they punished him a little too hard. So the Jets get a receiver that's not too bad and 2 first-round picks. I mean, that's not a bad haul.
Yeah.
And then they shipped Quinnen Williams. That's the bless me, thank me guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember that video? They shipped him over to the Cowboys. So the Cowboys get an upgrade to their defensive line.
Yep.
But their defense still sucks. So
yeah, that one player isn't going to change anything.
Yeah. I think the Colts and Jets trade benefits both parties, although it definitely benefits the Jets in the future.
Yeah.
And then the Cowboys-Jets trade, I mean, I don't even know. I feel like that's just a wash.
Yeah, that one is weird.
I don't know that the Cowboys win that trade. The Jets got some picks from it. The Jets are clearly just building for the future, which is respectable.
Yeah.
They have, like, in the next, I think, 2 drafts, they have, like, 4 first-round picks.
Which is insane.
So, like, if they actually get, like, the coach right, and if they get, like, the front office right, and so they pick correctly, they could actually have a decent team.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we are talking about the Jets here, who haven't had a decent team in, like, over a decade.
I was going to say, yeah. Although, you know what? Good for Sauce Gardner. He fell asleep one morning at, 1-7, and he's waking up 7-2. I would take that deal.
I'm currently beating the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah. In fact, I'm gonna put that game up on my phone.
I don't want to,
dude.
Updates. It's 13-7. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, wonderful. We won't talk about it.
And Indianapolis has the ball again, so I don't.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I didn't really expect the Falcons to win that game. But I mean, do we want to just quickly recap how they botched last week's game against the Patriots?
I mean, dude, I'll fucking go in and kick. I played soccer for like 12 years. I've kicked a football or 2 in my time. I feel like at this point I'm better than everybody that the Falcons have as a kicker combined.
And we talked about this last week before the Patriots game even started. The Falcons have lost countless games this year from just kicking, just from place kicking. Like they lost the opener to the Buccaneers.
Yep.
And then they lost, obviously, the Patriots game last week. And then I forget, there was one more that they lost from a missed extra point of field goal
It wasn't
this year.
the Panthers, because they got blown out by the Panthers. It wasn't... Shoot, who else did they play? the Niners. I think it was the Niners game. No, that was 20-10. Who else was it? Hang on, let me look.
But still, there was a game where they like missed an important kick that could have brought them back into the game, or like something like that, and they just didn't do it. So Falcons being the Falcons, and honestly, if they lose this game against the Colts right now, I think the season's gone for them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think there's a chance for them to make wild card if they lose to the Colts today.
Yeah, no, there's no way. They lost to the Buccaneers. They beat the They wouldn't beat themselves. They beat the Vikings, lost to the Panthers. No, never mind. It's only been 2 games, I think, that they've lost because of kicking.
And then the week after, they get rid of the kicker. Rightly so.
Well, yeah, they should. They honestly should just send Bijan Robinson. He's been doing everything else for them anyway. But no, they are, if it weren't for kicks, and obviously, you know, the 2 missed kicks for the Patriots and the Buccaneers games would have tied it and sent it to overtime. But they're very much a late game team. They make surges in the late game. So I would confidently say they'd win. So, I mean, reverse those 2 scores because of kicking in there, all of a sudden they're 5-3.
I do think part of the issues with the Falcons are, number one, I think their defense needs to get a little better.
Yeah.
And I also don't know that Raheem Morris is the answer.
No, I think he has moments of greatness, but like...
The thing is, like, he's a defensive coach, and usually defensive coaches, when their defense isn't good, like, that's what their specialty is. That the Falcons' defense should be, like, top 5 or top 10 in the league, but they're, like, not.
Yeah. They were for a little bit, and then... They were,
and then, you know...
3 games in a row we've lost, I think. Well, including the Colts game, I think it'll be 3 games in a row. Yeah. No, not including the Colts game. Including the Colts game, it'll be 4 in a row. I think, right? It was Niners, Dolphins, Patriots, and then Colts.
Yeah, there's just some inexcusable losses in there. So, but yeah. So moving on from the Falcons, I mean, we had the trade deadline, and then we had Thursday night football, which was Broncos-Raiders. It was a snooze fest, 10-7, Broncos win. I watched bits and pieces of the game, and it was a boring game. I can confirm.
That was the most Thursday night game of all time. Like, that was just wow.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's, oh man, I don't even know. I mean, both defenses played really well. Both offenses were horrible.
Yep.
You know, it's sad when a punt makes the highlight reel.
I know.
But that was the type of game that Thursday night football was this week.
Well, if they did a scoring highlight reel, the video would be, 30 seconds long?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was literally such a stupid game. I also watched bits and pieces, and I was like, what are we doing here?
Also, there are people saying the Broncos aren't a good team, and I just have to defend that because, like, they're 8-2. They're currently the 1 seed in the AFC. Like, and their 2 losses, by the way, came from games where they did not trail at all until the final seconds of the game because they lost on, like, 2 walk-off field goals, essentially.
Yeah.
And so they have not lost a game this year like that they've trailed in at all.
Yeah.
When you think about it, like every game that they've trailed in, they've won.
Like if they're going into the fourth quarter and they're losing, I think they have a higher chance to win than anything else.
They are absolutely a second half team. Like usually first half they're not great, and then
Keep
first
talking,
quarter.
I gotta close my window. It's raining.
Fourth quarter, Bo Nix is insane.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But also, Bo Nix is not that impressive to me overall. I'm just going to say that.
He reminds me a lot of Brock Purdy. I think he gets the job done, and he's got the weapons to make him look really, really good. But he's not like Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen.
And he's carried by a defense that is top 5 in the league. And
I'd argue
I'm not saying
top.
it's a bad thing.
I'd say they have the best defense in the league.
The thing is, football's a team game, and I think the problem with too many people is they're like, oh, the quarterback is the team. You can have a mid quarterback and have an outstanding team.
Yeah.
And you can't be bashing the quarterback for that.
Yeah.
Just like you can have a quarterback like Josh Allen, but the Bills' run defense is Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
So like you can't sit here and say, "Oh, the Bills because of Josh Allen." It's like everything's a team effort. So like I hate this thing where it's like, "Oh, the quarterback must be elite for you to win." Brock Purdy took the Niners to a Super Bowl. Sorry to say, Niners fans, but he's not an elite quarterback.
No.
So like this whole idea that and this is where I think the hate for Jalen Hurts goes. It's like, oh, he's not an elite quarterback. Even if you think he's not an elite quarterback, he spreads the ball around.
Yep.
He doesn't turn it over. The Eagles just have a well-built team. And I think the people that hate on Jalen Hurts are just upset that our general manager knows how to build a team.
Yeah.
I think that's more what they're upset about.
And on the Jalen Hurts thing, turnovers. Like you touched on that. He does not and
He's thrown
the receivers they have are so hit and miss. Like every other game, you're wondering if they're going to be good or not. I remember that was a big problem last year, too. It was like, okay, what was it? Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, it was like 1 week they both have like 100 yards and 2 touchdowns each, and then the next week they drop the ball or like miss catches.
That's the thing is that they beat you no matter what. Like, guess what? If Saquon in the run game isn't working, we have 2 top-tier receivers. You know, we have Dallas Goedert at tight end. So it's like we just have so many weapons. And, like, Jalen Hurts, he's turned the ball over. He's thrown 1 interception this whole year. Yeah. I think he has, like, I want to pull this up, but I'm pretty sure he has, like, 20 touchdowns and 1 pick.
You know what, though? Here's a good example of why Jalen Hurts I would consider to be elite.
Right.
You want to talk about having a good offense with a lot of weapons. Falcons. Drake London. I wouldn't say Ray McLeod or what is Darnell Mooney or whatever his name is.
Drake London is an elite receiver.
Elite receiver. Kyle
Darnell
Pitts
Mooney
is showing what he used to be. Bijan Robinson, great at running the ball, great at catching the ball. Tyler Algier, great at running the ball. Okay, their backup tight end, I don't remember his name, but he's done pretty well this year. That is, I would say, their offensive line is not bad. They haven't allowed a lot of sacks. However, Michael Penix is still young, still growing, and the Falcons are 3-5. If the Falcons had Jalen Hurts, I would confidently say that they would be at least 6-2 right now.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. And that's the thing. Like, I think people short Jalen Hurts, but just to get back to the stats here, I'm looking at this. Okay. He has 15 passing touchdowns to 1 interception.
Yep.
All year. And here's the thing. He's been doing this his whole career. Last season, he finished with 18 passing touchdowns and 5 picks, which, by the way, last year he had a phenomenal year. This year he's actually having a better year, quietly. Nobody's talking about this, but last year everyone was like, oh yeah, Jalen had a good year. This year he's actually quietly having a better year. He's on pace to get, around a little less than 30 passing touchdowns. He's on pace to throw 2 interceptions all season. And right now, he has 5 rushing touchdowns. So he has 20 total touchdowns and 1 interception, with a quarterback rating of 114.4. And by the way, before that, he finished with last year 103.7 passer rating. And so he'd be on pace for his best season right now if he keeps these rates up, which nobody's talking about.
Yeah, I think he absolutely can.
So yes, Jalen Hurts is elite. If anyone disagrees,
tell us in the comments below. We'll fight you.
I could argue that pretty easily that Jalen's elite.
All right. Do you want to move on to predictions? Oh, hey, Falcons stopped the Colts from scoring.
I see that. All right.
Watch the game.
NFL predictions. Do we want to go there?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So let me share, because I do have the playoff picture on my screen. So with the Packers' loss to the Panthers last week, that moves the Eagles up to the 1 seed.
Yep.
Which, by the way, can we talk about that? And here's the other thing. Why are the Packers favored over the Eagles this week when the Packers just laid an egg against the Panthers, who I would argue are not that good?
Yeah, and especially because it's in Philly, isn't it?
No, it's actually in Green Bay. But regardless, I still don't think Green Bay should be favored. They just lost to the Panthers at home, and we think they're going to beat the Eagles at home?
Yeah.
That does not make any sense to me, especially the Eagles off a bye week. They're well rested. That doesn't make any sense to me, how the Packers are favored. But anyways, so we have Broncos, Colts, Patriots, Steelers as the division leaders of the AFC.
Yep.
And then we have Eagles, Bucks, Seahawks, Packers as the division leaders of the NFC. And then in the wild card AFC, we've got Bills, Chargers, Jaguars.
Yep.
NFC, Rams, Niners, Lions. So that's what we're looking at right now. And then the teams on the bubble, we've got the Chiefs sitting at 8, Bears sitting at 8, Texans and Panthers, and then Ravens and Vikings.
Yeah.
Everyone below that, I would say their season's done.
Yep. I'd agree with that. Specifically the bottom 6, I would say they're out. I think a few of these teams, like the Cowboys and the Cardinals, I mean, if one other team slips up, I'm looking at if you scroll up to who's in the NFC yet, I'm looking at teams like the Niners that are heavily injured and the Lions that have not been playing as good as we all thought they would. I could see them slipping in. Same with the AFC. I think the Jaguars are not going to stay in the playoffs.
Yeah, the Chiefs are going to slip in their place probably.
Exactly.
So yeah. And also the Ravens with Lamar back, I could easily see them going on like a 5-game heater where that propels them back into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And in fact, the Ravens are, I think, slightly favored to win the division over the Steelers.
Which is insane considering
and the Ravens are 3 and 5.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I do think the Ravens could still win the division.
Yeah.
So.
Oh,
but yes, this is where everything's sitting right now, as of today. The Colts are currently winning, but it's still early. It's the second quarter.
Yep.
So we'll see. I mean, the Falcons need this win. If they lose this game, they're done.
I know.
I mean, you can see the statistics right here. If they lose, they drop to 7%.
Yep.
If they win, they bump up to 19%, which, is something.
Yeah. But still.
Especially since I think their schedule softens after this week a little
bit. It does.
Bit.
After this game, they've hit the hardest stretch of their calendar, and they actually go into a pretty easy next 3 or 4 games. But they lose to the teams that they should win against, and they
lost
beat the teams.
2-7 Dolphins.
Right, exactly. So they beat they beat the Bills. They lost to the Dolphins. Make it make sense.
Exactly. So this is what we're looking at right now. And then if we switch over to our predictions for the week, we can get going on these. Obviously, the Broncos beat the Raiders the other day.
Yep.
Again, it was a snooze fest. But what about, let's start with the AFC versus NFC right in the middle here, just because we have this game going on right now.
I'm going Colts.
You're going with the Colts, is that what you said?
Yeah.
I will too, and it's not just because they're up. I had them winning before this game even started. That's not to say the Falcons couldn't come back, but let's just say that the Colts hold on and win the game. Then we've got Ravens against Vikings. I do like the Ravens off of a mini bye. What about you?
With Lamar Jackson back, I have to go Ravens there.
Yeah, I would go with Ravens as well. And I think this year, with Lamar Jackson, they're averaging 34 points a game, which is insane. So, I agree with the Ravens. We've got the Patriots visiting the Bucks off of a bye. I do like the Buccaneers actually here.
I think I do too. I really don't want to admit to that, but I think the Buccaneers win that as well. They have been playing some damn good football.
Yeah, Baker's been great, and they have a lot of injuries, but they've been able to rest up. I know some guys are still out for them today, but overall as a team, they're coming into this well-rested at home. Yeah, I think they should win that.
Yeah.
So that's our AFC versus NFC picks for the week. I do like the Ravens against the spread. I think it's like -3.5.
Yeah.
JJ McCarthy, he's still a rookie. I'm still not sure how great he is. I think he has a good team around him, and he has a wonderful head coach, Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
So like, I think he's being helped by his head coach. But you have to think the Ravens are going to come into this as they know this is a must-win game if they want to get to the playoffs. So I think they'll win that game pretty easily.
Yep.
So we've got AFC over here. We've got Jaguars visiting Texans, and C.J. Stroud out with a concussion today, so Davis Mills gets the start for the Texans.
Which is why I think the Jaguars are going to get another lucky win.
I actually think the Texans are going to win this.
Really?
I know it sounds crazy. It's my upset of the week because Davis Mills actually came in and played pretty decently last week. I know they still lost the game, but like also the Texans have a really, really good defense. They're at home, and the Jaguars are actually missing their 2 top wide receivers this week. So throwing the ball for Trevor Lawrence is not going to be as easy. So I have the Texans in a really low-scoring battle.
I didn't know the 2 receivers were out on the Jags.
Yeah, so they don't have Brian Thomas or Travis Hunter.
Hey, Colts got the ball back. All right.
So what do you think for this game?
Yeah, I'd go Texans. I didn't know the receivers were out.
Even with the backup quarterback, I think the Texans take the game. I mean, Davis Mills isn't horrible.
No, but he's not great.
The good news for Davis Mills is he actually knows how to spread the ball around. He knows how to use his weapons. He targets Nico Collins a lot, which is important because, he's their best receiver. And I don't know. I see the Texans winning that.
Yep.
So then we've got the toilet bowl, the Browns against the Jets. What do you think about that?
I think Browns got that just on the level of the Jets lost 2 of their best defensive players. Other than that, I don't know. I have to go with the Browns.
Browns have essentially the best defense in the league. Jets just lost 2 of their defenders. And you'd have to think that, like, the locker room for the Jets is like, okay, we're tanking the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And, like, I know that locker rooms don't have tank mentalities, but, like, when you trade away 2 of your superstars on defense, you kind of get the idea that, okay, this season's lost.
Yep.
So I do think the Browns are going to take this one propelled by their defense. I think their defense is going to do really well.
Speaking of defenses, really quick before we continue the predictions, did you see what a lot of the offensive Bengals players were saying in the locker room interviews?
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
All they needed was one stop.
And, like, that has been their issue last year, this year. Like, their defense cannot stop teams from scoring. Like, you could tell me, oh, Joe Burrow and the Bengals just put up, like, 53 points, and I'd be like, okay, they'll still lose.
Their defense, them and the Cowboys, in fact, if the Bengals played the Cowboys, not only would that be the highest scoring game of the year, I think the Cowboys would win the game because I think they have the slightly better defense than the Bengals do. But it's still bottom-tier defenses. But, yeah, Jamar Chase, he spoke out against the defense. Listen, that's general manager problem right there. They spent all of their salary cap on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
So they don't have anyone other than Trey Hendrickson on the defensive side, and I think they have like one good corner. But other than that, it's like they did this to themselves. I mean, their general manager / ownership built an offensive-heavy team, and I mean, you need to have a defense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty interesting. And then we've got the Bills visiting the Dolphins this week. It's a divisional game. I do think the Bills win.
Yep.
However, I don't think it's a blowout.
I don't think it'll be a blowout either. The Bills have not
ready to play.
The Bills have not been blowing teams out lately.
No, they haven't. I mean, other than the Panthers, but
well, yeah. The
Panthers are the weirdest team in the league. I don't understand the Panthers, and we'll get to the Panthers in a second. But they blew out the Falcons, and they get blown out by the Bills, which is fine because that's like kind of to be expected. They beat Green Bay in Lambeau Field.
Yep.
I genuinely feel like the Panthers are just the most bipolar team in the whole league.
I'll go one step further. I think the NFC South is the most bipolar team in the league. You've got your dominant team with the Buccaneers. You've got your dog water team with the Saints. And then you've got two teams that any given Sunday, you're like, they'll find a way to win the game if they're down by 20 points. Like, and for both the Panthers and the Falcons, I think it's just like, you don't. If the two of them played each other, it would be like I'm sure it would like a circus would come onto the field and it would make more sense than the result of the game.
Yeah, it's crazy. So then we've got Steelers visiting the Chargers.
Chargers.
What'd you say?
I said Chargers.
Oh. Yeah, I also think Chargers, but I will say their offensive line, they lost two of their starters for the year. So their offensive line is in shambles. However, I mean, their offense is just so good.
Yeah.
I do think they'll win that, but I do think the Steelers can keep it close, though.
I think they will,
right,
too. I just don't trust the Steelers' defense enough.
Yeah, although they did put up a good result last week, though. Against who did they play last week? They beat the Colts last week. Yeah, so they put up a good defensive game against the Colts last week, but yeah, I don't know. I still like the Chargers. They're a good team. And then we've got the Giants visiting the Bears. Personally, I think the Bears have this one.
Yeah, I do too. I think the Bears have shown some good football. And I think a few weeks ago I would have said Giants, but then their run of form up until now has not been ideal.
And the Giants just have so many injuries. You know, they lost Neighbors for the year. They lost Scattaboo for the year.
Yep.
Like, those are two of their top offensive weapons just gone.
Yep.
And the Bears, their offense has been on a heater. Obviously, they won that crazy game against the Bengals last week.
Yeah.
But the Bears' defense does scare me a little because they also gave up 40-some points. But the Cincinnati offense is one of the best in the league. So
yeah.
I think they shouldn't have too much of an issue against Jackson Dart. As good as Jackson Dart has been, and he does deserve Rookie of the Year, I think. But I still think the Bears have that one.
Did you see the meme about combining the Bengals offense with the Browns defense and just making that the only team for Ohio?
The state of Ohio. Yeah. Honestly, if they did that,
they'd win the Super Bowl.
NFL.
They'd win the Super Bowl.
Best team in the NFL. They would easily win the Super Bowl. It would not be close.
Yeah.
If you combine the Cleveland Browns defense, Bengals offense, and you just made it the state of Ohio football, they would unstoppable.
Yeah.
In fact, that would be so fun to see. I wish that was legal because I would actually root for something like that to happen. As unrealistic as that is,
it'd be hilarious.
For this day and age. I mean, back then you had the Steagles, but that was like World War II. So you never know. Maybe if World War III starts, we'll have something like that happen. I don't know.
The Bang Gowns or the Browngles.
Anyway. So then we have the Saints visiting the Panthers.
I think Panthers.
I'm going to say something crazy. Why do I feel like the Saints can win this game?
They could. I think, despite the
Panthers
fact...
come off beating the Packers in Green Bay and then come home and lose a stinker to the Saints.
I could see that happening. That, I think, would be my upset of the week if I had to pick one.
Honestly, I'm tempted to pick the Saints here.
I'm down for that. I think that is very
Bryce
possible.
Young threw for like 100 and 30 yards last week, and they won against Green Bay. Like...
He's not good.
The Saints could pull an upset there, and I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if the Panthers do win. But the Panthers again, they're so I don't even know. Yeah, I think the Saints can win that game. We've got the Cardinals visiting Seattle. I think Seattle's got that one
in the bag. Yeah.
Although I do feel like Jacoby Brissett has been playing out of his mind recently.
Like I could see a Cardinals win, but I think.
Well, I could too, but Seattle's been firing on all cylinders. Sam Darnold has been crazy good this year.
Yeah.
And then we've got the Rams visiting the Niners. That's a really great game this week.
This one is going to be the game of the week, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
Only because it's got huge division implications. You've got a beat up Niners team that has been destroying, despite the fact that they have a ton of injuries. Aren't a couple of their guys back this week? I could be wrong.
The Niners? No, Mac Jones is starting again.
I'm not worried about that.
I believe that Ayuk is not back yet.
Okay. But the Rams have just been insanely good. However, the Rams do not have a great track record when playing when the Niners are considered home.
Yeah, I mean,
I have to give it to the Niners.
I'm going to take the Rams, and my only reason is because the Niners defense is just so injured.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to tell you the truth. The Rams have zero excuses. If the Rams lose this game, they have no one to blame but themselves.
Yep.
They should win this game. But if the Niners win this game, the Rams need to look themselves in the mirror because the Niners are so injured.
Yep.
It's unbelievable. Like, I think the Niners put up a good fight, but I'm going to have to say the Rams for that one. What do you say?
I say Niners. They're just such a plucky football team that, like, you could take out every single one of their starters. Kyle Shanahan would still find a way to win.
I know. It's such a tough game to pick. I'm going to lean towards the Rams, but
yeah,
I can see the Niners winning.
I'm like a metronome. I keep going back and forth, so I'm okay with the Rams pick.
Yeah, I just think the Rams, obviously they're healthier. Matt Stafford's been playing well.
Yeah.
All their weapons are healthy. The reason I'm picking Rams is because they don't have an excuse to lose. If they lose, that's inexcusable in my opinion. Like, all the credit to the Niners if the Rams lose, but, like, the Rams should not. And then we've got the Lions visiting Washington's because that injury last week was so horrible to watch.
I know. I gagged.
I feel so bad for Jaden Daniels because honestly, like, he's such, like, if he stays healthy, he's such a superstar. Like, that guy throws a really great football and he runs so well.
Yep.
Like, he genuinely reminds me of, like, a young Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Like, he can run it, he can throw it. Like, he reminds me of young Lamar Jackson.
I agree with that.
But he's out, and Washington's injured. Detroit, I think, after the loss last week, Detroit's going to want the win.
Yep.
I think Detroit gets the win this week.
I do too.
And then we got the Eagles coming off a bye in Green Bay. And by the way, Green Bay is favored in this game, which I think is unbelievable.
The only way I could see Green Bay winning is if it's like a revenge game because of their last home game, their loss. I could see them winning because of that. Did I freeze or did he freeze?
I don't know who freezed, but I kind of heard what you were saying about, like, the revenge game thing for Green Bay. I don't know. I just how they favored when Tucker Kraft is now out for the year.
Can you see me?
Can I see you?
Yeah,
Hold on.
I was holding the timeout button. Falcons just scored a touchdown. It's 14-13.
I see that. Good for them. So, who scored? Oh, Drake London scored.
Okay, so I think with the Eagles-Packers game, I have another one of those metronome things because I think the Packers are going to need a win. They're going to know that. They're going to go on a revenge game. But the Eagles are coming off of a bye, and I think they have a better team overall. So, but it's in Lambeau. I don't know. I really don't know. I think Eagles are the safer bet.
I have a hard time with the Eagles being underdogs in this because like the Eagles are coming into this game pretty much fully healthy. Our only injury is our center.
Yeah.
And the Packers just lost one of their top offensive producers, their tight end, to long-term injury. So, like, how are the Packers favored when they just lost to the Panthers at home? The Eagles are well-rested, coming off a bye, not injured. It makes zero sense to me. That's me not being biased, by the way.
No, I agree with that.
Same thing, even if I was not an Eagles fan.
I think it's just like, the world / America does not want the Eagles to repeat Super Bowl, so they are playing them down as much as they can.
Eagles money line is my best bet of the week. They're underdogs for some reason. Why are they underdogs? I have no idea. Is it simply because this game's being played in Green Bay? Probably. I don't know. But
however, that game will determine whether or not the Lions or the Packers take the number 1 seed in their division.
Number 1 for their division. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, so this is kind of what we're looking at if our predictions stand after this week. Yep. I know you had some differing opinions than I did. What was your biggest, if you're looking at these picks right now, which one would you change if it was you, or which ones, plural, would you change?
Ones, plural, I think my brain is saying the Niners game is the most, Niners game and the Panthers game. I think Niners and Panthers win. My heart is telling me the Patriots need to win, so the Buccaneers aren't as far ahead of the Falcons. But yeah.
So let's do our locks of the week, and let's.
Oh damn! You froze again.
Do our upset.
Hey, there, you're back. Okay.
Wonderful. I don't know why we're having connection issues, but anyway, what's your lock of the week?
I think my lock for the week is the Lions-Commanders game.
I would absolutely agree.
I think looking at all the other games, there's too much of a chance. Like, even the Bills-Dolphins game, there's a part of me that's like, okay, but the Dolphins could win.
Lock of the week for me is Lions to win against the Commanders. What's your upset of the week?
I feel like I can't go with Eagles and Packers because that's not enough of an upset. I think Patriots, Buccaneers.
According to the sports books, that's an upset.
Well, yeah.
Which is insane.
I think it's a tie between Eagles, Packers, Rams, Niners, and Patriots, Buccaneers.
Okay. Well, for me, upset of the week would be, Jacksonville is favored.
Yeah, that
so
is
my
true.
upset of the week is the Texans to win at home with the better defense.
And you know what? I think that was one of the games that I disagreed with you on. I think I originally, before I found out about the 2 receiver injuries, that was one of those, like, I could still see the Jaguars winning that.
Yeah, that one's going to be a close divisional game. Texans at home, but I think that would be my upset of the week. Texans with their backup quarterback to get a win there. And so if this all stands, this is what we're looking at here, playoff-wise. The NFC North, they would have the Lions, Bears, and Packers all sitting in playoff contention.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs, by the way, still sitting at that 8 seed. Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Everybody's been like, "Oh, the Chiefs do have their issues this year." They look really great offensively, but some games they just come out and they look kind of dry. They have 4 losses for a reason. They started the year off really slow, so there's that. But do you have anything else to add here for our NFL predictions for the week?
I think that's a good I think that's a good prediction. I think the playoff standings look good. If you had told me at the end of last year that the Colts and the Broncos would be leading the AFC, I would have told you to go crawl in a hole and stay there. Um, but now I don't see anyone other than them making it to the AFC Championship. Like one of those two teams will be there.
You think either the Colts or Broncos will be there?
I could see a Bills Colts. I think Broncos are too unstable for me. But Bills and Colts I could see.
That's interesting. So, for me, for the NFC, and again, this is not me being biased at all. I swear on my life I'm not being biased. I can't see the Eagles not playing for the NFC Championship.
No, they're my lock. I think the Seahawks won't make it. I think it's Eagles versus either the Bucks or the Lions.
I mean, but that's the thing. The NFC has some good teams. I mean, you could even say the Rams, too.
Yeah.
If they win today. But I just think the Eagles, are so... And by the way, for the trade deadline, they added an edge rusher from Miami, Jalen Phillips, who's really good. They added Jair Alexander.
Yeah, I saw that.
Everybody says that he's washed, but he was a first-round pick in 2018, and he's still only 28 years old. So... I don't consider people watched until they're older than 30. So hopefully he comes back and does really well. But they do nothing but add great players to their team. Credit to Howie Roseman.
Yeah.
But, currently though, the Falcons are leading the Colts 14-13, 2-minute warning.
Woo!
So we'll see what happens there. I mean, that would shake some things up a little bit.
Yeah. Because it would put the Colts down at 7-3, which would put them third in the AFC, and I mean it would bump the Falcons up to I think 10th.
It would bump the Falcons to 10, and it would bump the Colts down to 3.
And you know what? Those 3 games down on the Buccaneers, I don't think.
I will say though, I feel like you are rooting for Green Bay to lose this week because if they lose this week, then theoretically. The Falcons could crawl up into that 7th seed.
I am rooting for the Saints, the Eagles, and the Patriots today. Other than the Falcons, obviously. I am rooting for those three teams right now. He froze again. Or I did. I don't know. Am I?
All right, I'm back.
Oh, there we go.
I'm back on this wonderful Sunday morning where my Wi-Fi is taking a poop. But
cool.
That's our NFL picks week.
All right.
And
there's the man himself, Max Verstappen.
I will let you take the lead on this article right here. You can go ahead.
Oh my God, Max Verstappen starting from the pit lane. Everybody who was making the jokes of last year the race was wet and he started 17th and came back to win. Yeah, well, guess what? The race is not as wet as we thought it would be, and he is starting from the pit lane. That is a long-ass pit lane with a lot of turns. The turns themselves follow turns 1 through 3, okay? They follow the Senna S. The cars will be past turn 5 by the time he gets to turn 4. That'll give him...
Can I give you
Sorry, there's no fucking way. There's no way he gets any higher than 9th. Unless a massive wreck happens. Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's delusional to say he's going to win.
Yes.
I think it's 75% delusional to say that he's going to podium. I think it's 50% delusional to say he's going to finish top 6. I do think he will finish in the points.
He will.
Whether that's 8th, 9th, or 10th, he's going to get in the points.
The only thing that concerns me is, I don't know if you saw this, Verstappen's Q1 exits. He's done it 7 times in his entire career. He's only been knocked out of qualifying in the first round 7 times in his entire career. This is the first one where it has been just because of the time that he set. Every other time, it's been engine issues, brake issues, something happens on track that the session is stopped.
You could argue he said he had no grip.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Yeah. But, like, this is the only one where he has put a time on the board, and it was not enough to get out of Q1. Yuki Tsunoda is having the same issues. So I just think the Red Bull sucks at Brazil right now.
This confirms to me what we have both been thinking.
There he goes. Thank God we said this wasn't for kids, because I just said the F word.
Okay, finally, I'm back.
Turn your phone off of Wi-Fi. Maybe one less device on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I just took it off. The Red Bull is not a good car.
No.
This year. So it's not Verstappen's fault, but this eliminates him, in my mind, from drivers. He's done.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm heartbroken because I wanted to see it happen. Not like actually heartbroken, but like I wanted to see him at least make it competitive.
Yeah.
And I thought it would happen, but now this is between Norris and Piastri.
Yep.
And Verstappen's done. However, I do think he finishes in the points today. I still do, because here's the thing: we're gonna get a safety car today, no doubt.
Yep.
If not two. And let me tell you something: just because he's starting in the pit lane, if there's a safety car, boom, he's caught up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I do think he finishes in the points. Yeah. I really do. I think the pit lane sucks, but the second that safety car comes out, my man's back in it.
Yep.
I'm just so and don't try to say there won't be a safety car today, because
oh my God,
I would bet a lot of money that there would be.
Dude, there was a 20-lap sprint race yesterday, and by lap 3, by lap 1 or 2, there was a red flag. Like, you cannot tell me there's not going to be a single safety car in Brazil in possibly wet.
Yeah, and it makes me smile to see Kimi Antonelli do well.
Yes.
I always do an F1 bet of the week, and you can tell me if it's a bad bet.
All right.
But I did already place the bet. So I'm going to read you my bet slip here. I have only lost one F1 bet, and it was the race in Mexico. George Russell finished 7th, and I had him finishing top 6 in my parlay. That's literally my only loss. So I'd like to say that I'm on a heater. I think I'm like 4-1 in my F1 best bets. So here goes. I'm pulling it up now. And Ethan, you can tell me if this is if it's a bad parlay. All right, here we go. So I've got Lando Norris to finish top 2.
Yep.
I've got Antonelli to finish top 4.
Yep.
He's having a crazy good weekend.
I would agree with that one.
And I've got Oscar Piastri to finish top 6. Charles Leclerc to finish top 6. George Russell top 10, and Max Verstappen top 10.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. What's the payout?
The payout, that's plus 103 odds, so that's plus money for that parlay. It's a six leg parlay plus 103 odds. So a $10 bet wins you, a little over $10.
Oh yeah, $10 and like 30 cents.
Now, as long as none of them DNF or have car issues, I should hit.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It's going to be a pretty fun race.
I'm so excited, and it starts in an hour. I'm so excited to watch it, dude.
I know you see the countdown.
Yep.
On the screen. Well,
it's frozen. It's 1 hour and 2 minutes. Yeah, one.
There we go. It's because I was in the Discord, but yeah. So
I need coffee.
I still think Verstappen finishes in the points. Just because of the safety.
Here's what I'm gonna say, because I don't want to. I feel like we constantly talk about Norris, Piastri, McLaren drama, so I don't want to talk about it too much. I have seen a lot of F1 fans in comments.
Oh my goodness! I think I know what you're about to say too.
Piastri's car has been sabotaged by McLaren. What? sorry, who in their right mind is like, yeah, that's normal. He was sabotaged. I'm sorry. No professional sport team is going to sabotage any of their players, drivers, competitors, anything like that. Also, Oscar Piastri has put out two statements now that have said, and rough quoting here, the car feels like it did before the bad run. Like, he admitted that the car does not feel any different. He did for one race. But Lando Norris also complained of the same problem. He got over it and still managed to do well. Piastri's been like, no, the car is running normally. I don't know what's going on. He's like, I need to figure out what I'm doing wrong. Norris is having an incredible run. He's showing his experience. He's showing his pace. He's showing his racecraft of being able to hold the tires out from degrading. Piastri's just, he's not locked in right now. Norris got in his head, and now he's living there rent-free. And F1 fans are just trying to cope because they refuse to accept that Norris is a good driver.
Can you see the standings on my screen?
Yes.
Can you see the standings?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, I mean, I did say this a couple weeks ago, and I didn't retract my statement even when Ferrari did well in Mexico. I still think Mercedes finishes second. I mean, I called that a couple weeks ago, and I did stick with it after Ferrari had their amazing weekend in Mexico. But, I mean, Kimi Antonelli's
going to pull some points.
He's showing what he can do. And I think at this point, Verstappen is a lock to finish third in drivers.
Yeah.
And Russell's going to finish fourth. Maybe Leclerc catches up to him. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if I see that happening, though. But, yeah, I don't know. We spend so much time talking about McLaren drama, but I mean, unfortunately, that's just what it is right now. The amount of comments that I've seen from F1 fans saying that this title will not be accepted for Norris. Like, they're not going to accept the outcome. And they're saying, we all know this is going to be a fake championship win for Norris. We're not accepting it. And the amount of times that I've seen that comment, like, why is the F1 world so against Lando Norris? I have no idea.
I have been trying to figure it out for so long. I have watched, like, all of the interviews he's done. Well, almost all of the interviews he's done. All the races. Drive to Survive, I've watched a couple times just to see if there is anything in there. He makes the exact same comments that other drivers, i.e. Max Verstappen, has made with the cockiness, and everybody's been like, yeah, Max, champion mentality, yeah, F the other guys, right? Norris does it, and they're like, oh, what a cocky little British whiner. And then, Verstappen and Hamilton have both said, no, Hamilton literally said earlier this year he feels useless. That he feels useless. And that he shouldn't be in the Ferrari seat. And the entire F1 world is like, no, Lewis, you're still so good. Like, it's okay. We support you. And Norris is like, yeah, I make mistakes, and I think I definitely have to figure out what I'm doing wrong because it was my fault. And the F1 world is like, oh, what a whiny crybaby. Like, what? What did he do that pissed off the F1 world? I don't know. I've looked through so many things trying to figure it out. What did he do?
Yeah, I don't know. And it's a shame because he's having, I think probably his best season, and you could probably confirm that. He's probably had his best season so far.
Yeah.
And I don't think that Piastri is mad at anyone but himself.
He's not. He hasn't blamed it on Zach Brown.
I don't think he's been blaming anybody but himself. I mean, if you see his comments from yesterday's, mishap, if you could call it that, he was not blaming anybody but himself. He was like, yep, this is what happened, it is what it is. We'll come back and,
Yeah, he literally said it was my fault.
Yeah, I mean, I think he finishes top 6 today. And I mean, he's not going to catch up to Lando this weekend at least. I mean, there's still a couple races to go, but I think this is Lando's to lose at this point. He just has all the momentum, and I don't think Piastri's mad at Norris. I don't think he's mad at McLaren at this moment. I think he just knows that it's his own fault right now.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see what happens. The race is going to be super exciting. Call me crazy, Antonelli finishes on the podium.
I would love to see that.
That would be awesome. He almost won the sprint yesterday. Like, he hauled Norris in until Norris realized he was there and then was like, oh crap, and then put it into high gear. So
Antonelli has had a wonderful weekend, and if he finishes P2 today, he would have finished P2 in, like, literally everything this weekend.
Yeah, literally. Well, and, like, the thing is, the toughest sector, and, I mean, you and I have driven this track on F124, and I've driven it on F125, the toughest sector is absolutely the Senna S. That first turn, the downhill left-hander into the downhill right-hander, even when dry, is tough. Like, it's not the easiest sector, and it's the most difficult sector on the track, especially when it's wet. I would argue it is the most difficult sector on the calendar when it's wet. Antonelli has been the most dominant there. Nobody can touch him in that sector.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, somebody that I know, and I think I told you this off stream, but I'm not going to say his name, but somebody that I know called this. Last week he told me, watch Antonelli do extremely well. And I was like, okay, I mean, maybe. And it's crazy to me that he was right. And you know who I'm talking about. But no, he was absolutely right. I mean, he said, you know, like, Antonelli in F2, he was crazy good in Brazil.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he's just carrying it over.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. That sector gives him a massive advantage over everyone else. So.
Well, and everybody's making the joke. Like, a day or two ago when the weekend started, a couple of drivers, including Antonelli, or maybe it was just Antonelli, went and visited Senna's grave, which is nearby to the track. And everybody was like, oh, he visited his grave and he inherited Senna's powers. Like, now he's... I thought that was funny.
No, but I would love to see Antonelli podium. This would be his second podium of the year?
Yes. He had one in Canada.
I'm so excited to see...
although third if you count sprints. This will be his third podium if you count sprints.
Let me pull up... I've got to be able to see qualifying results somewhere.
Oh, Atlanta receives the ball for second half. All right.
There you go. Let me go to qualifying results. I want to see this. I just want to make sure I'm correct. Okay. So I am excited to just see the battle for third is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
You have Leclerc, Piastri, Hagar's mixed in there.
Yeah.
And Russell. Like, you know, and Gasly qualifying ninth in the tractor is pretty cool. But it's going to be so interesting to see. It's going to be so interesting to see who gets that third spot. Because I could see Piastri overtaking Leclerc.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I could see a double McLaren podium. I could see that.
I'm going to be the biggest Leclerc fan, though, and Antonelli fan right now, because as there's many people that can get ahead of Oscar Piastri, the better.
I mean, I know Verstappen's starting in the pit lane. I think he's going to finish in the points. I can't see him finishing higher than, like, 8th.
Yeah.
But I think he gets one of those last couple spots because of the safety car is going to benefit him.
Yep.
Because it's going to happen. End of story. So, like, he'll catch up, and he's going to be able to pass. I know his car isn't great either, but he's going to be able to pass, like, you know, Stroll and Colapinto and Ocon, and he'll pass all those people. So
yeah,
it's going to be very cool to see what happens. Race starts in 51 minutes, and I don't think I have too much else to add. What about you?
I mean, I need to go to the bathroom. Other than that,
wonderful. So yeah, we'll see what happens, and I think that's just about it for today. So
Yep.
thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next Sunday.
Adios. Next Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Be
10
there.
a.m.